Morning, everyone. Well, it might not be morning for everyone. Some of you might be watching in different countries. So hello to wherever you are. I'm Zoe McEwen. I work as part of Lisa's team. And today I'm going to have a little chat with Amanda, who has kindly taken some time on her Friday to explain to us why she signed up to One to Many and how it's helped her to build her own business. Morning, Amanda.
Morning, Zoe.
So what were you doing before One to Many? Can you remember the moment you thought, I need One to Many, or what was going through your head? What position were you in?
So I did One to Many 2 years ago, but prior to that, I had started to think about doing my own business, and I was with another coach, and it wasn't going as well as I'd hoped, and I spent a lot of money on it. And I asked a question of the coach, and they sent out a Monday morning email. Oh, we want you to succeed. If you've got any questions, let us know. So I responded to that email and asked a question. And the response from the team was, oh, you're going to have to pay for that. And I was like, what? Which was really strange. So I just thought, well, hang on a minute, I'm paying for this. So there was hot seats and things. And I said, well, I'm responding to your email. You want to help me succeed. And you asked me if I had any questions, and here's my question. So they didn't budge. I had to pay for this. So I quickly left. So I wasn't in a good place, and I was thinking, because I'm a professional coach myself, so I knew I needed a business coach to help me set up this business. And it was January 2024, and I'd seen Lisa's advert, and by this stage I was a bit wounded, and I was totally anti-business coach at this stage. And she was saying all the things that were opposite to what I had heard. And so I think I signed up for a lead magnet. It must have been maybe social media or something. But she gave away a free module of Fabulous Foundations. And this is true. And I thought, I signed up for this, but she's given this away free. I thought, oh, that's a bit interesting. So obviously that got my attention. And then the challenge was coming up. So I thought, well, I'll do the challenge. And obviously at that time, there was thousands of people in the challenge. And there was over 10,000 people. So I was in the Facebook group, and I was listening and watching what everyone said. And Lisa was openly asking everybody if you have any questions. So I asked a question, and she answered it personally. My question, this is the truth. And I thought, this woman is in this Facebook group. There's one of her. There's thousands of us. And she answered my question. And honestly, I can't tell you what that meant to me, because and obviously it was a challenge, and I knew there was going to be a sell. But she answered my question with no agenda. Didn't say, oh, I'm answering this question, so you're going to buy this thing. But the answer to that question gave me clarity in that moment, because I still hadn't quite worked out what my business was going to look like. But that one answer gave me clarity. And even if I'd walked away from One to Many at that stage, it still gave me that clarity. And then in the challenge, then I think we had the masterclass, and then we were doing she was selling One to Many. And the one thing that I hate, and I hate it, it's just not in my values whatsoever. People, you've heard coaches say, just whack it on your credit card. Run for the hills if anyone says just whack it on your credit card. Lisa was saying, do not get into debt for this. And I just thought, do you see where I'm going? She was saying the opposite, all this sleazy stuff, and I just thought, this is someone with integrity, genuinely. And I thought, yeah, she's absolutely right. Don't get into debt for this. Don't, she was saying the right things. So still thinking, okay, because you do, don't you? I didn't know her from Adam. I'm still measuring and looking for, the values, and did she match my values and whatever. And then she was selling One to Many, and what did it do, and all the stuff. And I had a business degree, and I'd had a long career in corporate, but it was public sector. And it's obviously very different. And I knew I needed to learn to sell in the private sector. I needed to learn marketing. I needed to reprogram my brain. And I just knew that she how it worked. And she was talking, like, for example, when she talked about ideal client, I hadn't heard that concept before, but it completely made sense. And I thought, it's traditional marketing, you just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, and you just market segmentation, all of this, but I hadn't heard of the ideal client concept before. And it was just like a light bulb went on. So with all those thousands of people in that Facebook group and all these questions, it just got clearer and clearer, and I could see a path. And I thought, even though I don't know what my business looks like, the structure was building.
Yeah, and everything you've said is something we hear all the time about Lisa. She just felt like that she was the right person. She said the right things. She had integrity. I mean, Lisa will say straight out, I don't think this course is for you, or I don't think it will work, or no, maybe now isn't the right time. You know, she'll be completely honest. Her brain works super fast.
Yeah.
You know, like you say about her being able to answer questions, she absolutely does. She's really present with her clients. If you tag her on a question, she reads all of the Facebook group comments. She's there all the time, seeing everything. If she replies, it'll be, you know, a direct, clear answer, because her brain can just see it and can just work through. Whereas, you know, that might take you 6 months of sitting and pondering on something. She just moves through quicker, and that takes a little while for some people to pick up the pace with. Because particularly, you know, you're in that Facebook group for when you join One to Many, you're in there for 6 months. You want to make the best of it and kind of keep moving forward. But it's for some people, it's like, oh, this is a lot going on in here. I just need to pause. So how did you find the pace of the course? What was that like for you? Did you keep up with, I know these are questions, did you keep up with the sessions? Did you do it in your own time?
I did. I kept up with the live calls, and I kept a notebook, and we had the recordings after. So even 2 years on, I still refer to the learning, but because it was all modules, I was still able to compartmentalize. So for example, I think, oh, I need to, what was that about? And then I can go back and check. And I did like the way it was structured, excuse me, because for example, building your audience is the biggest part. And I still hear Lisa saying, that's the biggest part of the business. I spend 80% of my time building my audience. And at the time, you're thinking, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? And then you go back and think, well, these are the steps I need to take. Or if it's visibility, the layers of visibility, I think, well, what are they? And then I can go back. So because of the modules, I really did like the structure. And it's probably influenced how I run my business, because everything has a module. And I liked how that was presented. And it's still clear, even 2 years on, that I can go back.
Still the same process, still the same strategy. If you kind of stick to it, it absolutely does work, which is why there's, you know, hundreds of testimonials to say it works. Before we got on the call, you were saying, but I did have to work hard. I did have to put the effort in, you know, and I think we want to be clear, again, Lisa's known for integrity, that you do have to do the work. So we haven't actually talked about what your business is and what you set up, what it is that you created from One to Many. So do you want to just explain a bit more about what you've developed?
So I'm a PR and communication strategist. And when I did One to Many, I wasn't sure what that looked like, what I was going to do, because I didn't want to do PR. That wasn't what lit me up. I wanted to work with people to help them find their story, help them be comfortable going on camera, help them get PR themselves. And that's the kind of thing that I love to do, help people work with what they already have. And a lot of people don't know the value of their own story. So in terms of doing the work, I was working full-time and still work full-time. And I kind of make the analogy of, do you remember not that long ago in January, you used to be able to buy a fitness DVD? I used to buy a fitness DVD. And by buying the fitness DVD, I somehow convinced myself that would help me lose weight. And I remember saying, just because you've bought a course off me and handed me money doesn't mean that you're going to have this business. And I think people think by buying this thing, they're going to have the business. You've still got to come up with your concept, grow your audience, build your business. And what that looked like for me was I negotiated Fridays off from my full-time job because I still needed to build this business, I worked weekends. My girls were grown up, which helped. But if they had been little, it would have been harder, and I would have worked in the evenings as well. But I wasn't just handed this business. I pivoted as well. I still had to sort of refine what it was I wanted to do and market test it, and do people want to buy that? So it wasn't overnight success, and I'm still building something. But it isn't going to be handed to you on a plate, and you do need to put the work in. But Lisa will give you the structure and tell you how to put that work in, and where to go, and what to do, and what to focus on. And it's up to you to come with the knowledge of the one thing, the passive income, or the one idea, and work within those.
I think you get a lot of confidence from Lisa and from the rest of the group who are all going through it at the same time, to think, well, if these people are all doing it, like, we're all the same, I can do it. Lisa will say over and over, like, there's no difference between her and everybody else. She, there's nothing that she knew differently than the rest of you starting out on this course, or skills that she had, or training that she wasn't. It's just the work that you put in. And I think the resilience probably to keep going. So some people won't keep going. I think it's a nice balance that you've got with working 4 days a week and having a Friday and weekends to put into this business, because that means you get to do what, that's your choice. You get to do it how you want to do it. And there's no, you don't have to give up your job and go all in on this until you want to. It can be something which is just for you, that you grow in the time that you want to grow it. So what would you say was the real shift for you, either sort of mentally in mindset, or feeling about yourself, or what you were able to do? I know you said you wanted to be able to pay for your girls to go to university. What do you think the one-to-many, apart from maybe that physical being able to pay for them to go to university, what do you think it really opened up for you and gave you as sort of possibilities?
I could see the pathway. So when I was thinking of starting up my own business, you're on your own in the world, and you think, oh, what do I need to do? And you do make mistakes, everyone does. Excuse me. But because of one-to-many, the structure was there. And I thought, well, if I do this thing well, I will get this result. If I focus on this, I will get this result. And you will have to go out of your comfort zone. Like, for example, visibility, depending on how far you want to go, because you won't get anywhere if you're not visible as a business. So you have to embrace that concept, and then go back to the other things, growing your audience, getting people on your email list. But there's always someone to ask. And we still see people today, in different groups that I'm in, how do I start an email list? What does that look like? And when you're in that zone, how do you start an email list? That's a really tough thing to begin with. What's a lead magnet? But Lisa has all that there. And once someone like Lisa and the team says, a lead magnet is this is how you set up your email list, it's actually quite easy to get that information in. But when you're, and that's probably what I'm trying to say, it's the community of everyone in that business. And when I was in one-to-many, and we hit stumbling blocks, because we all have wobbles. I did this and this didn't work. People would jump in immediately. Oh, we'll try this. And 2 years in, I had many wobbles and things didn't work, but some things did work, and surprising things worked. And as Lisa has said herself, if you sold one thing, that means you can sell another. And you've just got to, I think, keep an open mind, be a bit creative, and be a bit fearless, and be prepared to do the things maybe that other people aren't prepared to do, because having your own business it's the most creative and rewarding thing you'll ever do. But you've just got to test yourself a little bit. But the thing I said at the start, you're not on your own. You've got a lot of people to ask, and a lot of experts to ask. And Lisa does answer questions. And from one question that she will never remember, she's answered many more of mine. But just interesting what stemmed from answering that one question.
One question that just made you feel seen and heard, and you know, and if we ever say in an email, you know, let us know what you think, please reply to us, please do, because we don't get that many replies, and we genuinely want you to reply, and we read all the emails and we
Yeah.
reply back. And those simple kind of foundations of business, we hope, you know, that we pass on to one-to-many. And I remember you saying about, you know, there's bits that you're scared of and bits that you don't think you can do. And for me, that was tech. And a lot of people I talk to, it's the same. And I did one thing, and also the group were able to sort of celebrate with me on that one thing. So you've got not only people to help you, but also I've got people to say, do you know what? I did it. I set up a MailerLite account, never even heard of it before. And I've got it, and I've worked out, and it's actually quite easy to send an email. Who knew? And I've done it myself. And I could kind of post that in the group, and everyone was like, so you, for the good times as well. And I think you need to mark those moments of small achievements. If you're on your own, I don't know that I would have just thought it was too difficult. And I had previously thought I couldn't set up, you know, how ridiculous is it now? But I could easily set up a MailerLite account, and I just needed to allow myself that time and the belief that if somebody else can do it, I can. And I think that one-to-many is there. And then knowing that I'd got people to share that with, and then thinking, okay, well, I can do something else now. And all of those tiny little bits, when you celebrate them with other people, give you a bit more confidence to then go to do the next bit, I think. And yeah, that's what I loved about it. And I made great friends, and we're still really help and support each other now. Did you have connections of people that you still stay connected with now?
Yeah, my whole circle is people that I've met through one-to-many, and they've gone on to become established businesses. And then there's a lot of networking events and courses that they do, and even the freebies that they give, you know, the lead magnets. I'm trying to think of some of the stuff. Because of their knowledge, they'll have a lead magnet. You think, oh, I didn't, you know, I need to know that. And you'll have something that's useful. And that network can shave months of learning. You know, you go and find out something yourself, and someone has the thing right there that they're giving away for free.
I agree.
And even the trainings, you know, behind the scenes with one-to-many, the pitfalls have already been crossed, so the training is already there. But it's about networking, and that is really important as well. Get to know people, get to know who the experts are, because if one of your clients says, or one of the people in your network, oh, do you know anyone who's good at MailerLite? Use that example. You say, oh yeah, speak to Zoe. Zoe's going to say, oh, do you know anyone that's good at PR strategy? Oh yeah, speak to Amanda. And that happens all the time.
That's where I got loads of clients and got really established and got known as what, and then other people were referring me, and I was like, well, I haven't even set the business up yet. Like, I haven't even, yeah, that was so good. You're right. It's all of those hidden extras that are in there. Yes, you get the course content and you get that for life, but it's just being part of something that really helps. Thank you, Amanda. It's been really, really useful. For everybody else watching, wherever you're watching, there is a lunch and learn today at 12 o'clock. And that will be streamed into various places. So that's Lisa's going to be interviewing a variety of people that have done one-to-many as well. 12 o'clock today. There is another big ideas workshop on Sunday. I know some of you are still struggling with your ideas and couldn't get on the session. Lisa did a session yesterday. So there's another one, 8 o'clock Sunday, and that will also help people that are in different time zones. So look out for that. And also Lisa has added an 18-month payment plan, because she wants to enable as many people as possible to get on board with this. And the option of the 18-month payment plan might help people. So that's been added in this morning. So refresh the sales page and go and see what that is. Thank you, Amanda. We won't disturb your Friday day off any longer. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.